I've been studying blocking and staging, and this Varka scene is one of the first moments that made me stop and go, wait, they actually framed this intentionally. The scene opens behind Nefer, with her back in the foreground as she sits at her desk. From that angle, the camera sets up a standard post-mission debrief. Most of the cast sits around the long table in the lit zone at the center of the room. They drive the dialogue, and their tight clustering makes the space feel compressed, a visual cue for urgency. But the composition also sets up a second focal point. Varka isn't integrated into the group. He's off to the right, standing against the archway in a pocket of shadow. He's not behind anyone. From Nefer's angle, you can see his silhouette. But he's kept just outside the active space, placed along a strong vertical axis that still draws the eye. From the first shot, the blocking communicates two things. The group talks, but he carries the weight. Nefer is also blocked separately from both Varka and the ensemble. Instead of joining them, she sits in her own brightly lit area across the room. Some shots of Varka and the group are framed from her side. Her distance reinforces how deliberately the room has been divided in staging. The others stand, move their heads, and gesture. Classic kinetic blocking for problem solving. The camera keeps them in a shared midshot, showing collective anxiety. Varka stays upright at the room's edge. That distance is deliberate. Negative space highlights quiet judgment or unspoken burden. The contrast between bright midground and his darker zone is simple chiaroscuro, drawing attention without overstating it. There's also a moment that reinforces his positional authority without dialogue. When Wanderer returns from investigating and enters through the archway, the camera shifts to Varka's POV. From his angle, Varka's face stays half in deep shadow, half in dim light on the left side of the frame, while Wanderer crosses into the room. It's a reminder that even someone re-entering the scene is visually introduced through Varka's perspective. He's the fixed point the shot orients itself around. And a tiny detail, Arlecchino exits earlier than the rest. She could have taken the direct route and walked in front of Varka immediately, but she didn't. Instead, she chooses the long path, walking to the opposite wall, looping around the room, and only then passing by the archway next to him. It's small, but in blocking terms, avoiding the shortest path away from someone is a choice. Even her exit preserves his spatial dominance. As the discussion continues, the staging becomes even more pointed. Even when the shot shifts to singles or different angles, Varka often stays visible on the right side or anchored somewhere in the background. The game could have cropped him out. Instead, it keeps him present. His figure becomes a visual anchor, an unmoving vertical the composition subtly revolves around. This isn't just about lore. It's just how you frame someone with more narrative gravity than dialogue. Varka barely speaks. He gives one brief acknowledgement of the situation's severity, and even then, the lighting stays controlled. Half his face in shadow, half in dim light. It's a simple split-light setup that hints at an emotion he isn't expressing. His silence isn't absence. In visual storytelling, stillness and partial shadow are emphasis. A character can dominate a scene without moving or talking if the framing gives them authority, and here, it clearly does. Then the rhythm shifts. When morale drops and the group hits a dead end, the scene finally allows motion. Varka steps out of the shadows and into the central lit zone, his only major movement in the entire sequence. Because the scene has withheld motion from him until now, this single step becomes the beat shift. Movement signals intention. Before he speaks, the blocking already says he's taking charge. There's a subtle beat here. When the camera cuts from Nefer's angle to Varka's close-up, his body fully eclipses her in the background. Someone who had her own bright space disappears the moment he steps forward. It's not symbolic, it's just framing, but it instantly reassigns visual priority around him. When he stops, he stands in the physical and compositional center of the room, the spot previously owned by the seated cast. The camera shifts into a stable central framing, positioning him as the room's axis. This is classic leadership staging. You don't prove a leader through dialogue. You put them where the eye naturally settles. By the time he delivers his line, the message has already been communicated visually. The blocking tells the story. He listens from the periphery, stepping in only when the group loses its footing, and the room's emotional direction resets the moment he enters. Even in still moments, the staging gives Varka gravity. The group articulates the crisis. He embodies steadiness. The game practically begs you to notice him without ever pointing. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Catch you in the next one. This has been Anora.